It happens with mirror gazing, like if you have participants come into a lab and stare into their own eyes in a mirror. After a while, they cease to recognize their own face. They feel like the face in the mirror isn't theirs. They experience depersonalization and derealization just from staring into their own eyes. In meditation, you tend to introspect for a long period of time. You sit with your eyes closed, you listen to your thoughts, you think about yourself and your identity and where you are in your body. And this often ends up producing a sense of ego loss or depersonalization and derealization. And so, what I think is actually happening is that when you encourage people to introspect about their identity for long periods of time, think about who they are, prime these concepts repeatedly, what you get is paradoxical uncertainty or ironic uncertainty, whereby people who are overly therapized actually become more confused, more uncertain about who they are, more anxious because of these mechanisms that underlie all these other phenomena. And that's why if you get, I mean, this might be controversial. That's why if you get young people to constantly think about concepts like gender and you have them repeatedly think about what a boy is, boy, what does boy mean? Do I feel like a boy? How does it? It results in this satiation or this inhibition of the content whereby they actually become more confused rather than less confused about who they are.
Wow. I mean, I've definitely suspected that we're like implanting some of these thoughts in, the way we're doing education and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is almost like a mind control technique or something to get you to. I mean, it's probably not going to make every kid become transgender, but it's
No.
going to kind of destabilize the sense of self enough to where some people are going to be vulnerable to that message.
Yeah, and I framed it and I preface it with all this stuff about semantic satiation and compulsive checking and all of that stuff because I want people to know it's not. I'm not basing this on an ideological sort of disagreement necessarily with the whole thing. There seems to be a mechanism in the human brain whereby if you repeatedly inspect something, repeatedly compulsively think about a concept, especially regarding the self, you actually lose the sense of self. Like it becomes harder to actually understand yourself. And I think this is what's happened for a lot of the people who now detransition.